Pop Kern's exclusive sponsor is Accelerated Urgent Care.
Welcome back to Pop Kern and welcome back to my home. Easter weekend is coming up and I know it's a bummer we can't spend it with all of our family, but there are many creative ways to gather. Maybe not do an egg hunt outside or do a picnic, but come on in, I'll show you. So you guys know I am awful in the kitchen, but here to save the day we have Maria Lopez. She's the owner of Baking & Canto. She's gonna teach us how to make some delicious, easy Easter chocolate chip cookies with stuff you probably already have in your pantry. Maria, tell me, how has quarantine been treating you?
Well, I'm making the best of it. You know, I have two kids, a 14-year-old and a 2-year-old. I'm keeping everyone involved, but most importantly, we realize that quarantine is to spend this quality time together.
Tell me about what you've been cooking up, because you've made some adjustments to your baking company.
I make macarons, cookies, cakes, cupcakes, anything. But lately, what's in are the cinnamon rolls. With social distancing, I just asked for my customers to give me a text, let me know that they're on their way, and I just set their items outside.
Can you give us a little simple rundown of what we have here?
So we have flour, a little bit of bread flour along with all-purpose flour, your basic leaveners, baking powder, baking soda, both sugars, brown and white, some softened butter, eggs, just basic stuff that essentially many people have in their homes.
Again, I rarely cook, and these are things that I all had already in my kitchen. Okay, so what's the first step, Maria?
We have 2 sticks of unsalted butter. Make sure your butter is softened. If it's not, you can just put it in the microwave. Do it in 30-second increments because you will have a firework explosion in your microwave. Yeah, that's the perfect consistency for your butter.
Ooh, look at that drip.
So you're gonna whisk it, kind of liquefy it to the best of your ability.
And we're building some muscle.
Okay, so once your butter is thin consistency, you wanna add your sugars. Yeah, that's perfect. So we have 1.5 cups of white sugar and 1/2 cup of brown sugar.
Oh, look at how beautiful this looks. And the brown sugar adds a little bit of that molasses taste, is that right?
Yes, and it gives it that sense of chewiness. Okay, so once everything is pretty well blended together, you want to add your eggs one at a time, at least 3 medium eggs, and you want to blend it in. Remember to scrape the bottom of your bowl with your whisk. Once both eggs are blended in, you want to add about a teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Okay, so for us amateurs out there, I don't think I actually have a real teaspoon or tablespoon measure. Can I kind of eyeball it?
You can. Just a few pinches.
We got our wet ingredients, right?
Yes, now we need our dry. We have a little bit of bread flour, all-purpose flour, baking soda, baking powder, and some salt.
People who might not have the exact type of flour at their home, what happens if you use a few substitutions, like all white flour or all bread flour?
If you use only bread flour, you might have more of a cakey cookie, but some people want that. So
Okay.
Absolutely just work with what you have. Just give it a good stir.
In she goes.
You want to stir slowly to avoid the flour making a mess.
I can imagine this like blowing up in your face.
And once you have it about halfway blended, go ahead and add your chocolate chip.
Ooh.
So the recipe calls for 2.5 cups, but it's totally up to you.
Depends on how much you have a sweet tooth.
I like to mix my chocolate chip. My sweets, we have milk chocolate and we have dark chocolate. So because we do want to make these a little bit more festive for Easter, I want to add Easter M&Ms. So I'm just going to throw these in there.
Let's take a little taste. Make sure your hands are clean, please. Oh my God, that is so good, Maria.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna preheat our oven right now to 350, and then we're gonna put this in the freezer maybe 5-10 minutes to just firm up a bit, because we are going to grab it with our hands, and slightly roll it. If you have an ice cream scoop or even a large soup spoon.
About something like this, then you put it into your hands.
Yes. I like to line my baking sheets with parchment.
Do you spray the parchment paper?
I do not.
Great.
So I'm using a large cookie sheet, and I'm just gonna place about 8 cookies on it. This cookie dough, make sure you keep it covered with a lid or plastic, and it's good up to 5 days in the refrigerator.
Oh, wow.
If you aren't gonna use it within the 5 days, put it in a Ziploc bag, and it's good for up to 3 months in the freezer. Okay, so now the extra M&Ms, you wanna add them onto your cookies.
In they go. Ooh.
You see how they're light in color, but the edges are still somewhat crisp?
Ooh, and mine are about to be done. There it is. Oh, can you smell that? They look a little bit less perfect than yours.
Okay, girl, that will not affect the taste.
All right, shall we check on these cookies? How are they looking?
Yeah.
It's a hard pick, but I think maybe this one. They're like all my imperfect children. Oh, baby. And we gotta put it to the milk test, dunk test. Thank you so much, Maria.
Food is love, and especially right now, everyone needs a little bit of that.
So we're gonna celebrate a successful Easter baking project. We have some confetti eggs here. You can buy these at a lot of stores, or after you're done baking, if you save your eggshells and they're mostly intact, you just have a little half side of them, cover them with a little bit of glue and tissue paper, and are you ready? Woo! Happy Easter, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us. Hang in there, make the most of this holiday, and I'll see you back here next Friday at noon. And we can't be outside, of course.